Okay, now, Kuai Lama?
Yeah, if you start, I want to see if it's
Okay.
So
Hello?
hello, my name is Mandy.
Oh, is what?
Is Mandy.
Nancy.
Mandy.
Mandy.
Yes.
Mandy, like short from Mandalorian. Yes? Mandalorian. Mandy. Mandy.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Mandy. It's a very popular song from the 1970s. Okay?
Okay.
What grade are you in, Mandy?
Junior high school first grade.
I don't know what that means. High school first grade is what grade?
10th grade.
10th grade.
Yes.
Okay. What? Turn the mic on. Okay. Hi, so late. Okay. What is your favorite subject? Oh, what school do you go to? Dolio
High School.
Dolio High School.
Yes.
Okay. Is Dolio High School over by Carrefour? Or is that the junior high?
That's your name, junior high.
That's the junior high. Okay. Okay. What is your favorite subject in school? Do not say lunch.
My favorite subject in school is history.
History. Okay.
Yes.
What do you like to do? What does Mandy like to do when she's not at school?
I like to draw some picture or watch the cell phone.
Or watch or on your cell phone?
Yes.
Like TikTok or like Instagram?
Yes.
Okay. And when you draw pictures of what?
Or like
Pictures of animals, pictures of people, pictures of cartoon characters, pictures of very tall English white people?
like people or some something cute. Not like I create the things, but that is not the things that the real have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, Mandy. Who's next? Wait, which one? Who would like to go next? Yep. Cookie yummy. His shirt. Cookie yummy. Cookie monster. Have a nice day. Cookie yummy. Look at camera. Okay, hello. What is your name?
My name is Jason.
Jason.
Yes, I'm from Sacred Heart High School.
Sacred Heart. That's where they go.
The same class
Okay.
as the
Sacred Heart High School. And what grade are you in, Jason?
first grade.
First grade?
Uh,
Grade 1?
In senior high school, first grade.
You are very big for first grader. My
Okay,
wife
tenth
teaches
grade,
first graders.
tenth
They're
grade.
like this tall. So first grade, you mean what grade?
10th grade.
Grade 10, okay?
Okay.
All right. What is your favorite class at school? Not lunch.
Lunch break.
I know people. Lunch break favorite.
Maybe Chinese.
Chinese, okay.
Our teacher is kind.
Okay. What do you like to do when you're not at school? Play basketball,
Play
watch
card.
TV, what?
Play card with my friend.
Play cards?
Card. Go take it. Show him. Show him.
Play.
Show him. Ta-da.
I don't know what that is.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay.
That's with my friend.
Okay.
It's Dinosaur Day.
Okay. Are you two friends?
Yes, but he's a beginner. I have another friend. He's good at place.
Okay. All right.
Beginner.
What is your favorite food?
Food.
What is your favorite American food?
French fries.
French fries. Okay, good. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, next. I love your hair. Hair's so nice.
I love you too, bro.
Oh, see? So nice. Okay. Hello.
Oh, my name is Ace.
Is what?
Ace.
Ace? A-C-E? A-C-E, Ace.
Yes.
Okay. Who named you Ace? Who gave you that name?
Me.
You gave it yourself? You gave yourself that name?
Yes.
When did you give yourself that name? How long ago?
Maybe
Like 10 minutes ago?
10 years ago.
10 years ago. And what grade are you in?
Grade 10.
Grade 10. So when you were in first grade, you said, you know what? My name is going to be Ace. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And where did you get Ace from?
From enemy. I don't know what's its name.
So you gave yourself a name, but you have no idea how you gave it to yourself.
Yes.
Outstanding. Okay. And what school do you go to? Sacred Heart?
High
Okay.
School.
Okay. And what is your favorite subject? Not lunch.
My favorite subject is Chinese.
Chinese also. Okay. All right. And do you have a pet? Do you have any pets at home?
Yes.
What kind of pet?
Cats.
A cat. What is? Cat. What is the name of your cat? Does your cat have a name?
Yes.
Is it an English name or Chinese name?
Chinese name.
Okay, what's a Chinese name? You can't say your Chinese. You can't say your cat's Chinese name.
Nanxi.
Lai Shi.
Nanxi.
Okay, and what does that mean? What does that mean, Sheena? Is it a name? Does it mean anything?
Oh, a kind of drink.
Kind of drink. Oh, Lai Shi. Oh, okay. I don't like Lai Shi drink. Okay. I get. Okay. Are you any good at this card game?
Beginner.
Beginner, so that means no.
I'm still teaching.
Oh, so you are teaching him how to play. Well, that's very nice. Okay. All right, that's good. Okay. You can leave the microphone there. Okay. So we have a Mandy, which is a song, American song. Where did you get your name Mandy from? Who named you Mandy?
My mom.
Your mother named you Mandy?
Yes.
Okay. How did she come with Mandy? Is it from the song? Because your mom is probably, how old is your mom? How old is your mom?
About 40.
I wonder if that's where she got the name from. Okay, your homework tonight is to ask your mom where you got your name Mandy from. Okay? Jason, who named you Jason? Okay, yeah, most of the time I hear teachers just give you a random name. And they try to make it sound like it's close to your Chinese name. So is Jason close to your Chinese name? Backwards? Fair enough. Okay. All right. Okay. Just real quick for you, for Ace, for Jason, for Mandy. My name is Mark. Okay. First rule of my class, okay, is you don't have to ask me to go to the bathroom. If you need to go to the bathroom, go. Okay, it's not jail. Okay, bathroom right there. Okay, but I do ask that you wash your hands because we do pass the microphone around. We're going to talk. Okay, I am 52 years old. Let's see. Is that right? Yeah. I'm 52 years old. I am from America. I am from Texas. Okay, I live close to Houston. I am a very big sports person, so I like football, basketball, baseball, all of that. Okay, I'm a very sports person. Okay, I like to have fun. Right, everybody? I like to have fun, but if you're not having fun with me, but what I don't like is I don't like when you're talking when I'm talking. I don't like when you're talking and someone's on the microphone. Okay, you would want them to respect you and to be quiet while we're talking. So same thing for everybody else. Okay, I am 198 centimeters tall. I am 127 kilograms. Right? We agreed on that, right? 127? Okay. Okay. I like to eat McDonald's. That's why I'm so fat. So Ponda Lao Shi. Okay. I don't. Does anybody? Mandy, do you have any questions for me? Okay. Jason, do you have any questions for me? Is there anything you want to know about me? Maybe no? But maybe no also means maybe yes.
Maybe yes.
Okay, so maybe no, maybe yes. Okay, Ace, do you have any questions for me? Okay. I do talk about my life. When we're talking about this stuff in these pages, sometimes things come up in the article that we read. And I will try to explain it to you in my life so that way you can understand. I watch a lot of Netflix. I watch a lot of movies. I watch a lot of TV. Okay. So I'm trying to think of anything else. We do talk, like I said, we pass the microphone around. So just enjoy tonight. Sheena, please, please, please turn the air conditioner on. Or whatever it is. It's so hot in here. What is it on, like 50? 26. Yeah, so hot. Okay. Oh, that's why no fan. These fans, who turned the fans off?
You want 25?
Yes, 25 is good. Okay. Okay. It can never be too cold for me. I could put that on 0 and I'd be perfectly happy. Okay? All right? Okay. Jason, do you know what's on your shirt? And where is Cookie Monster from? Do you know where that's from? Besides the United States? Besides America?
Yes, I'm from America. I didn't see
Okay.
the movie or
It's from a TV show called Sesame Street. And Sesame Street's been on TV for older than me. You know, when I was 2 or 3, when I was 2 years old, 3 years old, that's what I watched. When I watched TV, I watched Sesame Street all day long. And after Sesame Street was Electric Company. And after Electric Company was The Magic Bus. And after The Magic Bus was Reading Rainbow. And then after Reading Rainbow, they turned right back and started it all over again. So again, Sesame Street, again, just like that. So I would be in front of the TV like this all day long. So that's why I can talk like Cookie Monster. Because Cookie Monster sounds like this. Okay? All right. All right, so everybody has a book or something like that. Uh-oh. No. Okay. Okay. Wait. So, before we read, so we're talking tonight about ever-evolving English. What does ever-evolving mean? What do you think ever-evolving means? Oh, hold on, just real fast. For Ace, for Jason, for Mandy, if I go too fast or you don't understand something that I say or what's going on, stop me and let me know. Say, Mark, I don't understand what that word means. It's okay, all right? I am very good at vocabulary. Okay, so I can try to help when I can, okay? So what does ever-evolving mean? Sheena. What? Shema? Shema? What?
Maybe like always evolving or
Well, yeah, always evolving. What is evolving, though?
like some kind of like upgrade.
Not, well, yeah, upgrade usually. Ever evolving means always changing. English is always changing. We always have new words. We always have new things. Okay? You guys, you young people come up with these stupid, silly words that make no sense. But people use them in real life. You know? So English is always changing, always this. It's always moving, always changing. And sometimes change for good, sometimes change for bad. Okay? So the first question before we start reading is, what languages have influenced the development of your native language? So your native language is Chinese. Okay? Okay? Which, again, is different than Taiwanese, right? Okay. So is your native language Taiwanese or is your native language Chinese? Mandarin. See, I never hear you guys call it Mandarin. Everybody else in the world called Chinese Mandarin. Speaking Mandarin. But you guys never call it Mandarin. I always hear you say Chinese. What was Jason's favorite class? Chinese. He didn't say Mandarin. What class is Ace's favorite class? He didn't say Mandarin, he said Chinese. Okay. So Chinese obviously influenced Taiwan and Chinese because, there's kind of a weird thing. Okay. For me, in English, what language influenced English? For us, Latin, a lot of Latin is probably the biggest influence on us is Latin. A lot of English words are based off of the Latin language. Okay? All right. Number 2, do you know any languages that have influenced the development of English? I just skipped myself. Latin, very important. But some German, some French. English is very weird because America has got everything. It's got Chinese people. It's got so many different people and so many different languages that sometimes it gets kind of mixed in together. Okay? Number 3, do you think people should try hard to use correct language at all times? Like, for example, this came up last week. You guys told me that cheeseburger is Cheesehanbao. But when I get on my phone, it says Cheesehanbaobao. So Cheesehanbaobao, cheeseburger. Yes? No? Is it bao bao or just bao? Okay. Okay. So, what? So different thing. My phone, my application that I used for translation says Han Bao Bao.
Well, then you may have to change your translation.
Well, it's the one that the Duolingo. It's what the #1 translation learning app in the world is.
What? Does that make the mistake?
What? Is it what?
I think Duolingo makes that mistake.
You use Duolingo?
Yeah, I use Duolingo 500 days in a row, every day. Every day before I go to bed, I use it for about 20 minutes. Okay? All right. Do you think it's hard to use correct language all the time? Well, if you notice the word correct is in quotations. What does that mean when it says correct in a quotation?
100%.
Well, just now. What's correct to you may not be correct to Leon. What's correct to you may not be correct to what Duolingo says.
Yeah.
So correct can be a very different thing. For example, in America, we say tomato, right? But everywhere else, people may say tomato, right? Are they both correct? Yes. Doesn't mean I have to say, I don't have to say, hey man, we're in America, you call it tomato, right? We don't do that. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato, right? Okay. But in Taiwan, in Chinese, in Mandarin, if I say the word ta can mean he, can mean she, can mean it. But in English, it's he or she or it, right? So when you say ta, it's correct, but I don't know the difference. When I say, ta whatever, I don't know if I'm saying he or she. What? Two kinds of words, right? Okay. Yeah. So again, what's correct for you may not be correct for me. And again, I am no professor in English. I do the best I can, and I try to help as much as I can. And Jason, Ace, Mandy, I try to differentiate. I try to make changes when a word comes up that it might be British, and it might because I don't know your schools. Some schools teach British English, and some schools teach American English, and sometimes they can be a little different. So I try to cover both. Okay. All right. Ooh, look at all this. Ooh. Oh. Oh, I know that one. I don't know that one. Okay, so now Mandy, can you please pass that behind you? So whoever is the last person to show up to class is the first person to talk.
Always me. Don't
And it's
worry.
Jane. Don't worry, it's always Jane. She's late for everything. Okay? All right, Jane, number 1.
Standardized.
Standardized. Okay,
A.
so the standardized. Okay? What do you think?
A, to establish consistency according to set rules.
Okay, so to establish consistency according to the rules. What is consistency? Consistency is always the same. So, like for example, in English, something that's very standardized. Okay? If it's singular, if something is singular, it's said, right? Book. Okay? If it's plural, meaning more than one book, we standardize that when you say more than one book, it's what?
Books.
Books with an S, right? So books. Book. Books. Standardized, usually we add an S. Sometimes we add ES, right? Depending on how the word is wrote, right? Depends on if it ends with a vowel or ends with a, that type of thing, right? So that is something that's very standardized. Okay? So that is one of the rules. Okay? Number 2, Sheena. Go ahead. Give it a spin. Give it a whirl.
Vowel.
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 Vowel. What is a vowel?
Vowel. A. F. An open-mouthed resting tongue sound in language.
Okay, an open-mouthed, resting-tongued sound in a language. I have never heard that definition before in my life. Okay? Do you know what a vowel is in English?
Yeah, I know you.
A,
E.
E, I, O, U, sometimes,
Why?
sometimes Y.
So smart.
Sometimes, not always, sometimes. So A, E, I, O, U, sometimes Y, all vowels. Okay. How many letters are there? How many letters are there in the English language? Ace, how many letters are there in the English language? 26. How many vowels? Shema? So how many vowels? We just said A, E, I, O, U, sometimes Y. So 6, sometimes 6 vowels. So the rest are not vowels. Okay? Okay? Every word in the English language has at least one vowel. Every word has at least one vowel in it. Okay? All right, next word, Gigi. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Oh, whoa. Whoa. Holy moly. Holy guacamole. So standardized, oh, too easy. Out, off, down. Okay. Number 3.
Profound.
Profound.
C. Characterized by intensity of quality or importance.
Okay, characterized by intensity of quality or importance. So if something is very important, it is profound. Okay? So we know that every English word has a vowel in it that is very profound, that is very important. It is something easy to learn. Okay? We know that if we're talking about plural, meaning more than one thing, book, books, we know that if it's plural, we add an S to most things. That is profound, very important. Okay? One of the biggest things that you guys do, you guys meaning in Taiwanese, is you have a tendency to not say your S's. Right, Jane? We have a tendency to not say our S's at the end. We always say book instead of books. And I have to correct. And again, Ace, Jason, Mandy, I'm here to help. I'm not here to make fun. Okay, yes, we may laugh from time to time at things, but when you say something incorrect, I'm going to correct you. So if you say the word, like vowel, and you say vool, I'm going to say vowel. I'm going to correct you. So don't get upset and go, Teacher Mark is mad. Teacher Mark is so mean because he corrects me all the time. That's what we're here to do. We're here to learn. Okay? All right, next word. Aisha. Oh, Aisha no speak tonight. Do you know sign language? Neither do I. Good, because I don't know it either. Okay. Mandy, number 4. Oh, profound. Oh, so lazy.
Pronounce.
Pronounce. Okay, pronounce.
To alter the sound of a word or part of a word.
Yep. So to pronounce is to utter the sound of a word or part of a word. A while ago we talked about pronouncing. Okay? You say tomato. Some people would say tomato. Some people say tomato. That's differently. Just how different people pronounce things. Okay? So same word, same everything can mean. Okay? Like, for example, Jason, what is this word? What is this word? What is this word? All 3 pronounced the same, all 3 different meanings, right? Okay. So definitions, vocabulary is more important in English, at least in my opinion, because all these sound the same. They're all different spelled, all different words, all different definitions, but all two, and two. Okay? Just pronounced different. Okay? Ooh, here's a good word. Let's see.
Consensus.
Good try. It's okay. This is a tough word to say. It's consensus.
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 B. General agreement.
Okay, he says general agreement. That is correct. Consensus. Okay, if you were to ask everybody in America how to say that word, the consensus or the general agreement in America would be tomato. Tomato. Okay? Whereas if you go to London and you say, London, how would you say this word? They would say, oh, it's tomato. Tomato. Okay? So it would be tomato. Tomato. So it's just different. Okay? So the consensus would be what most people would say. Okay? Okay, last one, easy one. You get the easy one.
Linguistic.
Linguistic.
D, of or relating to language.
Okay, of or relating to language. So the linguistics of everything. You guys are very good linguistically in Chinese. I am very good linguistically in English. You are much better linguistically in English than I am in Chinese. Okay? So linguistic means talk and speak in your language. Does anybody here speak any other language besides Chinese and English? Leon? French? Leon? Very French name, Leon. No French? Okay. All right. Gigi is probably Spanish. It's a Spanish name. Can you speak Spanish? ¿Se habla español? ¿Se habla español? No, señor. No, señor? Okay. How about Japanese? Anybody speak Japanese? I mean, you know a little bit, right? Konnichiwa, you know, right? You know, people know little bitty things, right? You know? How do you say hello in French? Bonjour, right? I mean, people know a little bit, right? Do you know anything in any other language, Ace? Do you know how to say hello in never mind. Okay. All right. I won't go into it. Okay. All right. So everybody has this? Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm lazy, so I cannot get up, and so I'm lazy and fat. Okay. Okay. We are going to read the ever-evolving English. So Ace, we have so many people here tonight. So here's what we do. Okay. Right? So, and I know you guys have all been in this class, so this is for them three, okay? So for Ace, Jason, and Mandy, what we do is we're going to read 2 sentences at a time. Do your best on the words. If you don't know the word, try to sound it out. If you say it wrong, it's okay. I'll repeat it the correct way so that you can know how it sounds, okay? At the end of each paragraph, we are going to stop. I am going to read the entire paragraph. And if there's any words in the paragraph that you don't know, make sure you highlight it. And when I ask me. Say, like, for example, Teacher Mark, what does, if you don't know what the word undergone is, like this word here, undergone. If you don't know what undergone means, stop me and I will try to explain. Okay? But before we read, we are going to go over these definitions down here at the bottom. Okay? So number 1 is case. Okay? Case is a form of a noun, pronoun, or adjective indicating its grammatical function in a sentence. Usually when you hear case, you think of what? Uppercase, lowercase, right? When do you use uppercase? First word of each sentence is uppercase letter, right? The first letter of every sentence is uppercase. Okay. The rest is lowercase, unless you are screaming at somebody in the sentence. If I yell, help! It might be all uppercase, meaning it's meant to be shouted, not help, help, someone's trying to kill me. It's help! Someone's trying to kill me! Okay? All right. Number 2, conqueror. Conqueror. Conqueror is one who gains territory by force. Okay? So conqueror. Who is a very famous conqueror? Who took land by force? Attila the Hun, right? Genghis Khan, Mongolia, right? Yeah. Genghis Khan took territory by force. Okay. Conqueror. Someone who took it. What does by force mean? By war, by fighting, right? Okay. Oh, here's a big word. Here's a good word. Ready? Aristocrat. Aristocracy. Aristocracy. It's a tough word. Now, so in America, we say aristocracy. In Britain, they would call it aristocracy. Aristocracy. So totally different word in saying, okay? So for me, it's aristocracy, okay? It's the governing body or upper class made up of hereditary nobility, okay? Now, in Taiwan, to my knowledge, some people have higher family names than others. Is that right?
What do you mean like higher?
I mean, like, if you're from a certain area and you have a last name, and your family name is a certain name that is more important than others. Yes? No? Yeah, I mean, to go to the extreme level, okay, who is the person in charge of North Korea? Kim Jong what? Un, right? And what was the person before that? An Un, right? Un. That family name.
No, the family name is Kim.
Oh, Kim.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kim. So he was a Kim, and his dad before that was a Kim, and the Kims before that. They've ruled North Korea for so long. So their name is very big and very important. Matter of fact, I just read that Kim Jong-un had a daughter. And his daughter's name, I don't know. But from now on, he has decreed that there is no one allowed to name their daughter that name anymore in North Korea. So if he named his daughter Mandy, no North Korean is allowed to name their daughter Mandy ever again. There can only be one Mandy. Okay. Next word, dub. To dub is to name somebody. You guys are all dubbed. Your name is not really Sheena. Your name is not really Gigi. Your name is not really Mandy. Your name is not really Jane. Okay? Your name is not really Aisha. You have Chinese names, right? Everybody here has Chinese names except for me, right? But I do have a Chinese name, okay? But my dub is the opposite, right? So, I mean, Jason, does your parents call you Jason?
No.
Does your parents call you Leon? Does your parents call you Ace? No one here has a parent that calls you that, right? This is just your name. Your mom calls you Sheena?
My mom called Wayne.
Okay. Does she call Jane Jane? Why? Because she doesn't love you?
I don't know. I think she thinks the Wayne is better to say for my brother's Chinese.
Fair enough. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So to dub is just the fake is to give somebody a name to go by. Most of the time we do it for what? It's just easier, right? Okay. 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 Number 5, usage. The way in which words or phrases are used in a language community. We had that a while ago with Jason. I put two, and two. Okay? These words and these phrases all have different meaning depending on how they're used. Okay? So a way in which words and phrases are used. For you, Jane, the way words and phrases is exactly what we work on Monday nights, right? Idioms and phrases. Because the word may not be the same when we use it in a certain phrase, right? Okay. 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 Next word, rudiments. I don't like this chapter. This chapter is not going to be good for me. Just so y'all know, I'm not going to like this chapter. Rudiments or first principles are very basic stuff. Okay? So basics, like for example, in a sentence in English, in the Chinese too probably, you have a noun and you have a verb. Right? Every sentence has a noun and a verb for the most part. Right? Okay? You can add certain things. You can add an adjective. You can add an adverb, right? You can add different things to the sentence. But every sentence has a noun and a verb. I ran. I swim. I hike. I eat. I drink, right? Wo, she. Wo, her. Right?
Yeah.
Every sentence has that. Okay? And then after that, then there's different things. Okay? All right, number 7. Prescriptive. Prescriptive, giving exact rules or instructions on how something should be used. Does anybody know any English rules? One of the rules that we learned when we were young is I before E except after C. I before E except after C. I before E except after C. So I before E except after C. So if I say achieve. Okay. Believe. Ancient. See? And that's where it's wrong. I before E except after C. So there are rules, but some of the rules don't apply, which is stupid, which is the reason why in English I hate grammar and I hate these rules. It's all vocabulary, 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 vocabulary. And hearing it and sounding it and going, that doesn't sound right. Okay? Okay. So there are rules. Right? And I hate that. Okay? Linguists. Linguist is a person who studies language in a specific way. I am not a linguist. Okay? I don't know every little bitty, stupid little bitty rule and all that. Okay? Next word. Oh, that's a good word. Lexicon. The vocabulary of a particular language. Okay? And the last one is flux, a state of flow and change. So everything is in flux. Okay? All right. Honestly, you three picked a terrible night to be the first night here because this chapter is going to stink. I mean, you should have been here for the lie detector one and for the patents and stuff like that. Okay? Yeah, but this one's going to be rough. This chapter, let's see what's the next chapter. Pride and Prejudice. Oh, well, that's a good book, though. Okay, so maybe that one's different. But this one is going to be bad, I think. Maybe not. Okay. Ace is the place. We're going to start. So Ace, 2 sentences at a time. ER. Give it a swing. Give it a go.
Like all languages.
Okay, turn the microphone on.
Like all languages, English has undergone many fundamental changes over time. The first form of English, now referred to as Old English or
Saxon.
Was first spoken in England and parts of Scotland.
Good. Very good. Scotland. Scotland. Okay, hold on just real quick. Also, when you hold the microphone under the table like that, it's going to make that noise. So make sure you pick up the microphone above the... No, 2 sentences. Next, Jason.
It was spoken between the middle of the 5th and 12th centuries and was characterized by a
Comparatively
limited vocabulary, as well as numerous entities that
marked, yep.
the gender, number, and case of words.
Okay. All right, so like all languages, English has undergone many fundamental changes over time. What is fundamental? What is basic? Fundamental is very basic. Fundamental changes over time. The first form of English, now referred to as Old English or Anglo-Saxon, was first spoken in England and parts of Scotland. Okay? It was spoken between the middle of the 5th and 12th centuries and was characterized by a comparatively limited vocabulary. What is characterized? Characterized means known as. Characterized. So characterized means known as. Jane, how would you characterize me? Tall. People would characterize me as tall. Aisha, what else characterized of Mark? What? Smart. See, she's so smart. So smart. Okay. No, probably not, but okay. What? So people will characterize me as tall, smart. Leon, what else?
Handsome.
Handsome. See? You guys so smart. Okay? Right? But most people will characterize me as tall, American, ponder, fat. Right? Some people might say, oh, blue eyes. Might be somebody who would characterize me. Okay. Sheena, how would you characterize me? Okay, you cannot. Loud is a good one. People say I'm loud. I'm very loud. I can be very loud, Ace. Okay. Okay. How loud do you ask? No. Okay. By the way, while you missed it, she said tall, smart, handsome.
So do you expect me to say something nice?
Yes. Okay. You did say it. Is loud nice?
Yeah, I think.
Is it? Is loud nice? Is loud a nice characteristic? Is it? Gigi, is loud nice? Is that a good characteristic? How come you're so quiet then? If you think characteristic is loud is a good characteristic, then why are you so quiet? Huh? Some would say funny. Some would say athletic. If you've never seen me play sports, so you wouldn't know, but I'm very athletic. Okay? All right. As well as numerous endings that mark the gender. What is gender? Sex. Male, female. Okay? The number and case words. Number meaning the amount, volume. Book, books. 12, 11, 15, all numbers in English. Okay? Okay? Is there any words in this first paragraph? Anybody understand? Do you need to know? Which one?
Undergone.
Okay, undergone. English has undergone. What does undergone mean? Been through. That's a good one. Yep. Been through is good. Been through. Okay. And in this situation, undergone many, so a lot of times been through a lot. Right? So undergone many means been through a lot. Okay. Jane, how many pairs of glasses have you worn since you've started wearing glasses? Two. So you've undergone two pairs of glasses. Okay. All right. Sheena,
Yeah.
how many phones have you ever had? How many phones have you undergone? 4. So she's had 4 different phones. That's a lot. That seems like a lot. Because you're very young.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. How many cell phones have I had? I've had 1, 2, 3, 4. I've had 4 phones in my entire life. And I'm 52.
Oh, okay.
And I've had 4 phones. 4 cell phones. Now, cell phones haven't been around for 52 years, so that's not a fair comparison. But I got my first cell phone I got when I was in 1996. So almost 30 years. In almost 30 years, I've had 4 phones in 30 years. I've never traded my phone in. I've always used it till it just broke, till it just died. Like my iPad that I used to bring in here died the other day, last week. I've had that iPad for 12 years. 12 years iPad? Yeah. It was the original iPad, iPad 1. It was the first one, the Air iPad.
iPad 1.
It was the one, the iPad 1. And the only reason why I had it is because I got it free when I bought my daughter the iPhone X. Yeah. Which is like 12 years ago. Yeah.
Well, iPhone used to care about us.
Yeah. So, Okay, any other words? Jason, any other words?
Comparatively.
What? Which one?
Comparatively.
Okay, comparatively. What does comparatively mean? What do you think comparatively means? Comparatively comes from the word what? Compare. What does compare mean? Differences between what? Two or more different things, right? Okay. So comparatively means you are comparing different things. Okay? In this situation, characterized by a comparatively limited vocabulary. So very limited vocabulary, not a lot of words. You know, they didn't say, you know, when they said, you know, back in between the 5th and 12th centuries, they didn't say, well, I eat a lot of blank. They would say, I eat potatoes. They didn't eat raw potatoes. They just ate potatoes. I eat potato. You know, very caveman sounds. Very, very basic, fundamental, easy English. Like what I say. When I speak to you guys, wo he cha. Right? I drink tea. Now I can say, wo he bing he cha. I drink iced tea. Right? Okay? You know, I used to be able to say, you know, I go to McDonald's. Now I can, you know, I can say, you know, I eat cheeseburgers, you know. Well, according to y'all, maybe not. Han bao. Okay, but I mean, I can say little bitty things. I may not say it right, but you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to say, right? Okay. Okay. Yeah, any other words? Anybody? Okay, then who has the microphone? Okay, Jane? Uh-oh, hold on. Yeah. Good. Come on. Yeah. Okay, so when the Normans. Uh-oh, there we go.
When the Normans invaded the British
Isles.
in 1066, 1066, English came under the influence of the French-speaking conquerors, who became the new aristocracy.
Yep. Yeah, it's tough.
The class differences of this period are still reflected in the languages.
Okay, languages. Okay. Don't add the S when it's not there.
I didn't say it.
Okay.
The words beef, pork, and
Poultry.
poultry, for instance, all come from French. Yet the care of
Skip the whole line.
Yet the words cow, pig, and chicken all have OE origins.
Origins.
Oranges. This reveals who was taking care of these expensive animals and who was eating them. As one popular saying puts it, French for the table, English for the stable.
Ah, yes.
Oh.
Good. Oh. He is going to what? You have to go downstairs? Or you have to leave? Okay, where are you going? See a dentist? I can pull the teeth here. Okay. Zaijian. Goodbye, Ace. We will all miss you. Zaijian. Okay. Does the dentist really open this late?
Yeah, next time I'll do this.
The last time I went to a dentist, come back from my 10.
Wow, so nice. No way in America. Dentist, 5 o'clock, 5:01, out the door. Okay, go ahead.
Besides adding many French words, the language also gradually lost many of its OE endings. This new form of English, referred to as Middle English, ME, developed from 1066 to around 1500.
Good, okay. So when the Normans invaded the British Isles in 1066, English came under the influence of the French-speaking conquerors, who became the new aristocracy. Okay? The class differences of this period are still reflected in the language. So class difference, what does class mean in this situation? Not like class like here class, but what class? The different types of people. We had the kings and queens, very educated, very smart, went to school. And then we had the lower class people, the people that worked in the fields and really didn't really know the language too well, so kind of talk like this just to say the words, right? So we had these smart people that went to school and very educated, and we ought to talk people like this. Okay? So these are different classes. So for example, the words beef, pork, and poultry. Beef, pork, and poultry. So beef, pork, and chicken. So all come from French. Yet the words cow, pig, and chicken all have original OE origins. What is origins? Origins. Come on, some of you comic book people. Origins. Origins means beginnings. Okay, where they came from. Okay, so they all have that. So beef, pork, and chicken turned, and yet so all the educated people said, "Oh, I'd like some beef, please. I'd like some poultry, or maybe some pork." And then the people down goes, "Oh, you mean chicken? Oh yeah, we can make you chicken." Okay, because it sounded more fancy and more sophisticated, right? So poultry. I would love some poultry. Okay. Okay. This reveals who was taking care of these expensive animals. Who was taking care of the animals? You think the rich people were taking care of the animals? No, the poor people were. The poor people were out there because, they're the ones out there in the mud and in the poo and in feeding the pigs and, no, I went to very high university in Paris. I'm not going to be stuck in walking around in the mud, right? Okay. So they were, as one popular saying puts it, and I've heard this saying before, French for the table, English for the stable. So what does this mean? What do you think, since Jane takes this class, Jane, what does French for the table, English for the stable mean? What is French for the table? What do you think French for the table? What do you think that means?
I think it's the higher range.
No, French for the table is for the dinner table.
I think so much.
Okay? For the dinner table. French for the dinner table. Instead of saying, I would like to eat some chicken, they would say, excuse me, but I would like to have some poultry tonight. It sounds more fancy, right? Okay. I'll give you a better example. That's none of these. I'm trying to think on what the word is. I'm drawing a blank on my word here. Hold on, let me find my word. Let me find the word I want to use. Veal. Has anybody ever had veal? Veal, V-E-A-L. Don't look it up, because if you look it up, you're going to see what the word means. If I said, excuse me, but I'd like to have some veal tonight. V-E-A-L. Sounds good. It sounds like, okay, I'll eat veal. Veal sounds good. You know what veal is? Baby sheep. Like fresh out of the, as soon as the baby comes out of birth, they kill it, cook it, eat it. But people won't like it if you call it dead baby sheep, right? You can't call, excuse me, but I'd like some dead baby sheep, please. People are like, huh? But if you say, but I'd like some veal, they're like, oh, veal, you say. So that is the difference. So French for the table, meaning it sounds very fancy when you're ordering it, but English for the stable, meaning, but we know where it comes from. Okay? We say hot dog, right? Okay? Who likes hot dogs? Anybody eat hot dogs? I love hot dogs.
Yeah.
Okay? Do you know where hot dogs come from? If you knew where hot dogs come from, you probably would never eat hot dogs ever again. Okay? But they taste so good, so nobody cares. But if I said, excuse me, Sheena, did you want me to get you some ground up pig knuckles and big feet and big ears and grind it up and put it into a little tube? Would you like some of those? You would probably say, no. But I thought you like hot dogs, because that's what they are. Okay? How about this? I got one for you. And it's a French word. Excuse me, but can I have some calamari? Can I have some calamari? Does anybody know what calamari is? Calamari is squid. But people go, ooh, squid. I don't want to eat squid, but I'll have some calamari. Excuse me, can I have some calamari, please? Okay. Right? So, besides adding many French words, the language also gradually meaning slowly lost many of its OE endings. This form of English, referred to as Middle English, developed from 1066 to 1500. Okay. All right. Any words in that one? Tonight's going to be a slow night. There is no chance we're going to get through this chapter tonight because there's so many words that are going to be funky. So tonight's not a good night for y'all to be. So don't go home tonight, Jason. Don't go home tonight, Manny, and say, "Oh, teacher, Mark class so hard. I don't want it." It's never. This is the hardest one. Yes, this is by far the hardest one. Okay. Okay. So next, who has the microphone? Where are we at? Gigi? Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Mute a girl. Okay, Mandy?
Meanwhile, between 1200 and 1600 in
Major
alteration
occurred
in the way people pronounced many vowel sounds, particularly the long
vowels.
The completion for this change
of this change dubbed
the Great Vowel Shift, marked the birth of the modern English language.
That's 2 sentences. Unless you want to read more, I'm not going to stop you. If you want to read the whole thing, I'll let you read the whole thing. But 2 sentences minimum. Okay, next.
Modern English developed rapidly during the reign of
Elizabeth
the
First,
which was also the period when the great playwright William Shakespeare lived and wrote. His work had a profound influence on the language introduction and
Introducing
introducing many new words and phrases that we now take for granted,
yeah.
like uncomfortable, which comes from Romeo and Juliet.
Okay, good. Okay, so meanwhile, between 1200 and 1600, a major alteration. What is alteration? Change. When you hear alteration, what do you normally think of? You would think of fixing a dress, right? If a dress is too big or your shirt is too big or too small, they alter it, right? To change it. Make it bigger, make it smaller, make it shorter. If you buy pants that are too long, people may make an alteration to hem up the thing. For example, Teacher Irene's. If you notice, Teacher Irene bought these drapes for the classroom, right? Same ones here. But because this door is shorter than that, as you can see on the bottom, there's about this much alteration. But over there, it's a whole lot bigger, a whole lot longer. She had to make an alteration to make it even. So it would not, if she put that over there, it would hang on the floor and be like 3 or 4 feet off the floor, right? You'd trip over it. So she had to make an alteration. Okay? So that's what alteration is. Alteration is a change, okay, or a fix. Occurred when many people pronounced the vowel sounds, particularly the long vowel sounds. This completion of this change, dubbed the Great Vowel Shift, marks the birth of modern English language. Okay? Modern English developed rapidly. What is rapidly? Quickly, fast. Okay? During the reign. What is rain? Not rain like water coming from clouds. But what does reign mean? What? No. During a reign is a time where there is a king or queen that rules during a certain time. In this situation, between 1558 and 1603, so basically 45 years is how long Elizabeth I was in charge, which is also the period when the great playwright William Shakespeare lived and wrote. Has anybody ever heard of William Shakespeare? Right. I would assume that, even here in Taiwan, you've heard of William Shakespeare. Okay? Right. When you hear William Shakespeare, what's the first thing you think of? Romeo and Juliet, which is what they talk about later on. Or what's his most famous quote? To be or not to be. That is the question. You know why? Since we're not going to finish. You know why that quote is so good? To be or not to be. Yeah. That is the question. You know what's so good about this line, this particular line? The way you say it can mean totally different things. To be or not to be, that is the question. To be or not to be, that is the question. Now I've asked two different things. To be or not to be? Be or not to be? To be or not to be? To be or not to be? Oh, messed up. Or not to be? That is the question. To be or not to be? That is the question. Or, last one, to be or not to be, that is the question. Question. All different ways of saying the same sentence, all can mean different things, all based off of his language and off of his grammar and off of his practice, you know. His work had a profound influence on language, including using many new words and phrases that we now take for granted. Sorry, granted. What does take for granted mean? Ooh, sounds like an idiom or phrase. What is take for granted? We take for granted, take for granted means we consider fact. We take for granted. We automatically assume that is correct. We automatically assume, we consider it to be fact. Like uncomfortable. The word uncomfortable was never in the English language until Romeo and Juliet. He decided that to make something comfortable, he would use the word un. Un is from is un in Latin means not. So he would say uncomfortable. From Romeo and Juliet. What we learned about William Shakespeare more than anything, and it's something that I think you guys need to learn as readers. You guys are excellent readers. I know we've had this discussion. Mandy, you haven't had this discussion. Jason, you haven't had this discussion. You are all excellent readers. You read well. You read really well. You read really well. Okay? But, and not just you two, but a lot. Sometimes we read the words like this and it all sounds like it's on the very same breath and the very same thing. Whereas William Shakespeare, he would speak in phrases. He would say, you know, modern English developed rapidly during the reign of Elizabeth I, which was also the period when the great playwright William Shakespeare lived and wrote. And he would say it in this certain thing that sounded like a dance. It sounded like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. William Shakespeare, da, 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 da. So it sounded like that. So people would hear him talk and they would be like, wow, it sounds like he's just like this. So that is what so I remember when we would have we had a whole chapter, a whole semester of nothing but William Shakespeare. We had to speak like him. So 3 or 4 words at a time. We had to work on our phrasing and make sure that everything sounded fantastic. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And everything was over the top. To be or not to be? That is the question. So passionate. Yeah. And that's what made him so famous and so popular, is he had passion in his words. When you read his words, you're supposed to read it in a certain way. Okay? Man, that button is so far. I have to use this book. Okay. All right. Whew. Sorry, Irene. Tonight's not my night. Okay? So, next, who's got the microphone? Where are we at? Oh, Leon!
Modern English was characterized by more active attempts at standardization of English usage and spelling. During the 1600s and 1700s, many writers called for English to follow more regular patterns, as French and Latin did.
Very good.
They all they 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 also
Proposed.
proposed that an English academy
That's right. Academy.
be created. No such academy was ever established, but numerous grammar texts and dictionaries started appearing.
Okay, good. So modern English was characterized by more active attempts at standardization of English usage and spelling. Standardization meaning what? What does standardization mean? Standardization means everyone did the same. Okay? They would standardize it. People would say potato, and they say, no, 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 no. We say potato. They want it to be standardized. They want to teach everybody to say potato. Potato, 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 potato. They wanted everybody to be standardized. They wanted everything to be taught the same. Okay? They wanted Sacred Heart School to say potato. They wanted your school to say potato. They wanted your school to say potato. So when everybody said potato, everybody would say potato, right? But if they didn't, they had somebody over in the corner, didn't go to school, they were like, at the potato. Then it would sound silly. Everybody would say potato, and one person got potato. So they wanted to make sure it was standardized, so everybody said it the same way. Okay? So the standardization of English usage and spelling. Okay? I'll give you, so standardization works today, right? You guys have a certain standard on how you do math.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
When I was my age, my math is nowhere near the way you guys do math. You guys do math a totally different way than I do. I can still get to the number that you can get to. The answer is still the same, but we'll do it differently because they've changed it and they standardized it and made it more efficient or try to be more efficient. For me, it's just confusing. But that's because I learned it a certain way. But, like right now, we're talking about potato. I learned to say potato, 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 potato. If someone in the world goes, from now on, we're all going to say the word potato, I will have a hard time unlearning it because I'm so used to saying potato that I will have a hard time learning to say it the different way. Okay? All right. So during this 1600s and stuff, the writers called for English to follow more regular patterns, as French and Latin did. They also proposed, what is proposed? When you hear propose, what do you think? Like when you propose to marry somebody, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think propose means? Proposed is ask. So they proposed that an English academy be created. What is academy? What is an academy? School. Good. Academy is a school. So now they asked that we make an English school be created. No such academy was ever established, but numerous grammar, texts, and dictionaries. What are dictionaries?
Really, really thick.
You guys have no idea what a dictionary is. A dictionary is on your phone. But a dictionary is a book
For the vocabulary.
with definitions or vocabulary, definitions. Oh gosh, I spelled that wrong. Definition. Okay, so books with definition. Now you just go, how do you say the word potato? And it'll say potato, potato.
想让爸妈行
Oh
动力更像你，一节一次
Commercial, you know.
支持3倍行动力。
Too slow. Okay, anyway. So a dictionary is a book with a definition. It tells you what it is. And some words in English have different definitions, right? Okay. Okay. Any words in that one? That one seemed like it was pretty easy. Okay, next. Who is it, Jason, or is it Jane? Okay, Jane?
The first official book of grammar rules was written by William Lawton
Good.
in 1734. And in 1761, Joseph Priestley wrote and published the
Rudiments.
Rudiments of English Grammar. Those texts were based on what the writers considered correct grammar rather than on an analysis. Analysis.
No, analysis.
Analysis
Yes.
of how people actually spoke and wrote. Thus, their approach is referred to as
prescriptive
grammar.
In later years, linguists argued that grammar should describe how people really use language and not how writers think it should be, adapting an approach.
Adopting.
Adopting an approach called descriptive grammar.
Okay. All right, so the first official book of grammar rules was written by William Lawton in 1734. And in 1761, Joseph Priestley wrote and published The Rudiments of English Grammar. I have seen that book. I hated that book. We spent about a week on that book, just looking at it, going it over, and I hated it. Okay? These texts were based off of what the writers considered correct grammar rather than on analysis of how people actually spoke and wrote. For example, according to my phone, according to my Duolingo, if I want to say hello, it's ni hao. But most of the time you don't say ni hao, you say hi.
Yeah.
Right? So what's right? Is ni hao right? That's the correct. That is the correct way to say hello, right? But no one says that. You just go hi, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you actually spoke and write. So people, when you guys say, you know, like my wife will go when she's talking to somebody, And what does that word mean?
Yes.
It means yes. But is she saying yes, 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 yes? She's mostly saying yeah, right? Total different thing. The difference between correct and incorrect. Okay? In later years, linguists argue that grammar should describe how people really use language and not how writers think it should be used, adopting an approach called descriptive grammar. That's exactly what we were talking about. I was talking about how William Shakespeare wrote his books and how it sounded like this and it had a rhythm to it and it sounded like a dance. But they decided that's not how they wanted to teach. It should describe how people use the language and not how writers think it should be used. So that is why not everybody talks like this, like William Shakespeare, because that's not how people talk. Right? That's what that means, descriptive grammar. What is descriptive? Meaning, descriptive means to describe, right? Okay? Not her. Who haven't I picked on tonight? Gigi! how would you describe the word fluffy? No, you can't describe it like this, but how would you describe a fluffy? A fluffy is one of those descriptive words, right?
Yeah.
That either you know what it means or you don't. You know, when you hear fluffy, what do you think of? You may think of, what do you think of? When I say the word fluffy, what do you think of? Some people would think what? Anybody? Mandy, if I say the word fluffy, what is fluffy? What do you think, or the first word that pops in your head when you hear fluffy? I know what Sheena would say. Okay, Sheena, when I say the word fluffy, what do you think of?
Cat.
Your cat. Fluffy little cat. Aww. Right? What else is fluffy? How about a cloud? A fluffy cloud. So, but how do you describe that? Well, soft. Does soft describe fluffy?
Part of it.
Part of it, sure, but not the whole thing. So it's one of those descriptive words that you have to know or you just kind of don't. Okay? All right, we got 5 minutes left. I guess I better read the rest of it to get at least through it. Okay. Sorry, Irene. Okay. How much do I got? Oh my gosh. Holy moly. Today, English is spoken by so many people in so many different countries across the globe that it has become even harder to standardize. The contemporary consensus lies somewhere between the prescriptive and descriptive approaches. Educators try to follow something called standard English so as to avoid a complete lack of order in the use of English. However, I can see where it's going. However, as one can see in the differences in spelling and vocabulary between, say, British and American English, rules can be difficult to enforce. We talked about that, right? Okay? All right? Think of examples as an American spelling words like organization or color, which are spelled organization or color in the UK. They don't use a lot of Z's and they put a lot of U in it. Okay? Both forms are seen as correct as long as they are used in the right country. Okay? To help ensure that standard English stays up to date, respected dictionaries publish annual lists of new words that have been accepted into the lexicon. A lexicon, again, meaning the definition down below, meaning the vocabulary of a particular language. These may be words that started out as slang. What is slang? Slang is just made up words, you know. Like right now, there's words like yeet and riz and stuff like that, which, you know, is just slang words. Okay? Okay? And many are new technological terms. In 2014, the popular college term added selfie. We didn't know what a selfie was, but now that we have cell phones, now we had to come up with a word called selfie because everybody used that word, right? So they decided to make it an official word, selfie. And hashtag. What is hashtag? Right. And where do you use hashtag on? Instagram or like Twitter, right? Or not Twitter anymore, but X, right?
Yes.
Okay. But we didn't have that stuff 50 years ago, so that word didn't mean anything. If you said something in the 1980s to me and I said, let's take a selfie, people were like, huh? What the hell are you talking about? Okay? So there have been some significant changes in grammar over the years. For decades, prescriptivists argued that English sentences should never end in prepositions and that splitting infinitives were incorrect. For example, a split infinitive is to really want instead of really to want. Gosh, my English teacher was very Nazi when it comes to that. She was very upset. She was so mean. If you said like that, she would go, excuse me, but you're splitting the infinitive? And that's just stupid. I'm like, oh gosh. So I had an English teacher like that. These days, such rules generally considered invalid because they come from Latin, which is no longer viewed as a model for English. One of our biggest pet peeves in English, for me growing up, never start a sentence with a conjunction. So, and is not a word you're allowed to start with a sentence with. Like if I wrote this, I like to eat pizza. And I like French fries. My teacher, my English teacher would go, because this period is not needed, and this and can just be that, and can just be one sentence. I like to eat pizza and I like French fries. And just cut all that out. I like to eat pizza and French fries. She would be very big on that. But I see it in these books all the time. And every time I see it, I die a little bit. And my teacher, Miss Fountain, dies just a little bit, even though she's been dead for about 20 years now. Okay? Okay, so correct English grammar is now considered largely a question of functionality, style, and taste. And the context in which language functions is taken into account before passing judgment. Okay? As long as people are able to communicate effectively and have a basic standard to guide them, English serves its linguistic purpose. After all, the only language not in flux are those that are no longer in use. Okay? Sorry I went over tonight, and sorry we went slow. Okay? We will not do this next week. This is not homework, so I will see you all next week when we're going to do Pride and Prejudice. Has anybody ever read this book, Pride and Prejudice?
I mean, yeah.
Read the book or watched the movie?
Read the book.
Okay. I'm going to assume that this book is going to be from that. Okay? Good night. Mandy, good night. Jason, good night. Goodbye, Jason. Goodbye, Mandy. Sheena, can you turn the air conditioner off, please? Shinkula. That means thank you, right? But also I could say she and mean the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So which one is correct?
All correct.
Or I could just say she, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Goodbye. Zaijian. Bad class. Goodbye, Jason.